مثل نفسها أو بما هو مثل نفسها في التقيد.
بما هو مثل نفسها في التقيد والشغل لا يقدح حجاب ولا موضع
إبرة إبرة ها إبرة.
فهذا هو البلاء كل البلاء. الثاني يعتقد أن ليس للنفس
unless
للنفس نشأة غير النشأة الجسدية، فأنه ليس لها كمال آخر يجب عليها طلبه، فإن النفس إذا أضمرت ذلك لم يطمح بصرها إلى الكمال أصلا.
إلى آخره. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين. So Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, before this chapter, he has mentioned Asraru Anwa'il Bir, that every good deed or every type of good deed, it has its own sir and secret. What is the secret in prayer? What are the secrets in fasting? What are the secrets in dua? What are the secrets in charity? What are the secrets in jihad? And just name it. So in that bab, he talked about various types of bir or good deeds, which he started from zikr. And he mentioned the zikr before. He said because a non-Muslim enters into the fold of Islam with zikr, not with fa'al. With what? With zikr, with words, not with fa'al. Because if a non-Muslim comes and he wants to become Muslim, so we don't tell him, just pray. We say, come on, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. So what is that? That is zikr. That is verb. And we in prayer, that's a asar of Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala an, that on the night of ascension, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Maza atayta bihi ilayya. You came from a downward to the upper world. What gift you have brought me? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said, for a while I thought, what can I give to Allah, who is the creator and the owner of the whole world? He has everything. He is the owner and the king of everything. I say, oh, one thing he does not have it. One thing. See, he does not have it. Why? Because he is Al-Kabirul Muta'al. So he does not have the tawazu. He does not have the humbleness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not have the humbleness. God, because he is Al-Mutakabbirul Jabbar. So he does not have the humbleness. And we are doing ibadat. Imam told us that what is the basic secret of ibadat? Humbleness to Allah. Yes? Just check your prayer, or with your prayer, you are standing like this. What is this? Humbleness. You are bowing down. What is that? Humbleness. You are putting your head on the ground. What is that? Humbleness. You are sitting very calm and quiet in a ajib way. What is that? Humbleness. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that humbleness, Allah does not have it. Means that he is not doing ibadah. He is doing ibadah. Say, Allah is doing of whom? We are doing ibadah because we have Allah. He does not have any Khalik Malik. He himself is Khalik Malik. So he is not doing ibadat. And ibadat is of three types: verbal, physical, financial. Verbal, physical, financial. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, At-tahiyyatu lillah, was-salawat, wat-tayyibat. At-tahiyyat, verbal ibadat. Was-salawat, physical ibadat. Wat-tayyibat, and financial rituals. Got it? But it starts with zikr. So that's why. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith, Afzalu zikri, la ilaha illallah. The best zikr is la ilaha illallah. And then Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, right after that, he mentioned that the second type of good deed is ad-du'a. Because with that zikr of la ilaha illallah, you submit it to Allah. That I am slave, you are the master. You are the master, I am your slave. What the slave has to do? To serve. To serve. To worship. To serve. To worship. To show humbleness. And what he is in need of, to ask his master to fulfill his need. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi, after that, he mentioned that the second type of good deed is dua. What is? Dua itself is ibadah. In ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ ud'uni astajib lakum. Ud'uni, invoke me. Do dua. Ud'uni. After that Allah said, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي. He was supposed to say, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ دُعَائِي, because there he ordered, ud'uni. Do dua. So here he was supposed to say that those that who are thinking of themselves very high to call me and to invoke me, سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمَ دَاخِرِينَ. No, he titled the dua ibadat. That in the lazina yastakbiruna. So two things are there. That dua is ibadat, and ibadat is for whom? Say, from Allah. So thus, dua must be only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no asking from Saheb in Balkh Sharif. Yes, from Khwaja Ajmiri in Ajmer Sharif. And from Data Ganj Bakhsh in Lahore. And from Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jalani in Baghdad. And from no one anywhere. Because invocation, Allah called it ibadah. And ibadah is only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the second one, Imam Rahmatullah alayhi said, that is dua. And the third one, Imam mentioned that is recitation of Quran. Recitation of Quran without knowing its meaning, that is the utmost highest ibadah. Got it? Why? Because that is the word of Allah. That is what? The word of Allah. When you speak out and utter the word of Allah, thus you get connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what I told you. That the hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that يقال لقارئ القرآن اقرأ ورتل وارتقي كما كنت ترتل في الدنيا فإن منزلك عند آخر آية قرأتها. That read and recite and do tartil as you were doing in dunya, and go up. With every ayah you will climb one mansion. So your stay or your castle will be there where you stopped your recitation. So now the case is, as I mentioned in detail, that now Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi says that from this we have found out that darajat or mentions in Jannah is equal to the numbers of the ayat of Holy Quran. How many mentions will be there? Just count the number of ayat of Holy Quran. So in Jannah, those many mentions are there. Got it? Or not it? Number two, that if there is a practical Muslim, he never violated any rule of Allah, but practice accordingly, but he cannot recite Quran, what will happen to him? So as I told you, that Quran is actually, basically, that is the wasf of Allah, because that is kalam of Allah. That's what? That's the kalam of Allah. And Imam Waliullah says, rahmatullahi alayh, that originally Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has inscribed the ayat of Quran in the nature of human, on their cells. On what? On their cells. And that's why when somebody recites Quran and one who adopted it as a belief, so it affects him. It affects him. Why? Because the two devices, they are clicking one another. The two devices, they are clicking one another. Got it? Sometime when somebody is reciting Quran, yes, if you know the meaning, at some time you don't know the meaning. With recitation, unintentionally, you break in tears. You do? What happened to you? Yes, what clicked you? that thing which is inscribed on yourself. Otherwise, you don't know the meaning even. If somebody knows the meaning, to him that happened again and again. Yes? So that night when Mohsin was reciting these ayat in the first rakat of Salat Aaisha, so I couldn't help myself. And even Maulvi Manuri said he couldn't help himself. Because Mohsin is reciting good. Yes, when he was reciting, so yes, I broke in tears and he also broke in tears. So why it happened? Because that's inscribed there. When you click here, your car, it gets open or gets locked, things like that. So when you practice accordingly, so Shaykh Rahimahullah, he has mentioned that the ayat means the words of Quran. Because of that practice of your practice, actually the practical meaning of Quran. That's what? Got it or not it? Yes. In lab, the scientist, what he is doing? Practicing the theory. Practicing the theory. He learned in words. Yes? So you can say that is the practical theory, as I told you. And I wrote in their book, Islam and Science, that science is what? Say, practical philosophy. And philosophy is what? Theoretical science. Just say it like this. That will make it easy. That philosophy is theoretical science and science is practical philosophy. Because both are thinking about the creature. Both are thinking about the creature. The philosophers, he bring out a theory. Got it? And scientists also bring out a theory. But his theory is different, his theory is different. But philosophy is to bring out a theory. Think about a creature and bring out a theory. And then go to lab and practice that theory. Got it or not? So now, this Muslim who practiced accordingly, and he never violated the rule of Allah, subhanahu. So his practice is based upon one ayah of Holy Quran. The ayah said it. Got it? So number one, inscribe there on the cells. Practice from outside. When it clubbed together, that engrave on cells. When it engrave on cells, so on that very day, you will see a common layman, a busker or farmer who was working in farms but very practical Muslim. He will be reciting like this and climbing over. And a good reciter who was using this Quran only for grabbing money. Yes, I will recite that much and I will recite only 3 programs. For every program I will take that much. And as far as his practice was concerned, he was not taking care of his prayer even. Rather than other practices, he will forget about everything. Yes, he will never enter to Jannah. How he will climb there? May Allah protect all of us. We have to think of that. So anyhow, Imam Rahmatullahi alayh, he mentioned a few anwa'ul birr along with its secrets. And then he said, Babu tabqatil ism. That the sin, it has so many tabaqat. Got it? And he proves that, look at me. He proves that by its opposite. That like as I told you about good deed, that it has tabaqat. So on the opposite side, the sin has tabaqat as well. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says that like as for good deed, some kawasib, what? Some actions is pushing you towards good deed. So there are some kawasib which pushes you towards bad deeds and towards the sin. So he said that these are on different stages or different levels. So the first one is أن ينسد سبيله إلى الكمال المطلوب رأسا. That his way towards that perfection which is meant and needed, his way is totally blocked, dead end. He is standing on a dead end. He is not proceeding towards any good. He is not proceeding towards any good like the kafir. So the kafir, his way, he is standing there with a dead end. Got it? وَمُعَظَّمُ ذَلِكَ فِي نَوْعَيْنِ. Imam Rahmatullah alayh mentioned before. I'm repeating it because that is connected. وَمُعَظَّمُ ذَلِكَ فِي نَوْعَيْنِ. And he said that is of two types. أَحَدُهُمَا مَا يَرْجِعُ إِلَى الْمَبْدَأِ. إِلَى الْمَبْدَأِ. This word, look at me. This is actually a term used there in philosophy. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the philosopher, they call him al-mubdi'ul fayyaz, and sometimes they say al-mabda al-fayyaz. Sometimes they say, if they believe in Allah, so then they say al-mubdi'ul fayyaz. If somebody is not believing, so they say al-mabda al-fayyaz. Got it? So mabda means the source, the general source where from the everything came out. So they call it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he is the general source of coming out of this whole world. It came here from that source. Or mubdi'ul fayyaz. Innahu huwa yubdi'u wa yu'id. So al-mubdi', that is one of the 99 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Mubdi mean the one who started from the very beginning. So he is mubdi, because who created the whole world from the very beginning? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why they call him al-mubdi'ul fayyaz. So Imam Rahmatullah alayh is a great philosopher. That's why, and he is teaching us philosophy, but actually explaining Quran and Sunnah in the light of philosophy or through philosophy. So he says, أحدهما ما يرجع إلى المبدأ. The first one is, that is a return to the mabda or to the mubdi. بألا يعرف أن له ربا. That he does not know that he has a Rabb. That the guy is standing to a dead end because he does not know that he has a Rabb. Or أو يعرفه متصفا بصفات المخلوقين. Or he knows that he has a Rabb, but he has qualities like the qualities of creatures. For example, he said, إِنَّهُ وَالسَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the all hearing and the all seeing. So he is thinking of him that he has ears like makhluk and he has eyes like makhluk. So it means he is standing to a dead end as well. Got it? Got it or not? Yeah, that's called tashbih. That's called what? Tashbih. That he is giving Allah resemblance with the creature. أو يعتقد في مخلوق شيئا من صفات الله. Or he believes in a creature, a quality like that of the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving shifa. So he is believing in somebody alive or somebody dead, that he is giving shifa as well. People are going to graves, yes, for different type of diseases. Yes or not? They are going to different graves. Yes or not, Ahmad? Yes, because they believe in that one who is there in the grave, that he has a quality like that of the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Got it? So that is called shirk. The first one is called tashbih, the second one is called shirk. أو يعتقد في مخلوق شيء من صفات الله. فالثاني التشبيه. The second one is tashbih, والثالث والإشراك. And the third one, أو يعتقد في مخلوق شيء من صفات الله, that is إشراك. فإن النفس لا تتقدس أبدا. Nafs of insan will never become pure and sanctified حتى تجعل مطمح بصيرتها التجرد الفوقاني. As long as التجرد الفوقاني means the entity of Allah, because he is ذات مجرد or ذات مادي. Say, he is ذات مجرد. He is ذات مجرد. He is immaterial. So that's called التجرد الفوقاني. So immaterial in the upper world. Immaterial means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. حتى تجعل مطمح بصيرته تمحو البصر. Look at me, where you are throwing your sight. So مطمح البصيرة, not basarat. Basirat. Inside eyes. What? فإنها لا تعمل أبصار ولكن تعمل قلوب التي في الصدور. So there is basirat, that's also become blind. There is basarat, they also become blind. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us from any type of blindness. Here and there both. May Allah give us basarat properly and basirat properly. So, حتى تكون مطبح بصيرتها, that the place where he is putting his or throwing his basirat, that's التجرد الفوقاني والتدبير العام المحيط, and the general tadbir and planning by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which encompasses the whole world. So it means that Allah, who is a Tajarrud al-Fawqani, He is the Khaliq. Number one, He is the Malik. Number two, He is the Mudabbir. He is behind the everything in this world. So as long as he will not make his belief in such a way, he will be standing to a dead end. He cannot proceed further even a single step towards Kamal and perfection. وَالتَّدْبِيرُ الْعَامُ الْمُحِيطُ بِالْعَالَمِ فَإِذَا فَقَدَتْ هَذِهِ. When that nafs loses these things, بَقِيَتْ مَشْغُولَةً بِنَفْسِهَا أو بما هو مثل نفسها في التقيد كل الشغل. So he is completely, look at me, he is completely involved either in his own self or in things like his own self, I mean in makhluqat. He is busy in his own self or he is busy in other makhluqat. So somebody is thinking of making himself and somebody is thinking of making a castle and things like that and plazas and this and that. It is also makhluk like him. That's mislu nafsiha. It is mislu nafsiha. La yaqdahu hijab an-nukrati wala mawza ibra. He cannot break the curtain of nukra. Nakarat, non-knowing. Nukarat mean non-knowing. Wala mawza ibra. And he cannot find even a place equal to the extent of a small needle. He cannot go ahead. فَهَذَا هُوَ الْبَلَاءُ كُلُّ الْبَلَاءِ. So Imam Rahmatullah alayhi says, for such like guy, this is a great musibat, utmost greatest musibah. وَالثَّانِي أَنْ يَعْتَقِدَ أَنَّ لَيْسَ لِلنَّفْسِ نَشْأَةٌ غَيْرَ النَّشْأَةِ الْجَسَدِيَّةِ. So that is al-martabatul ula of ithm or sin. And the second martaba is أن يعتقد, that he believes أن لَيْسَ لِلنَّفْسِ نَشْأَةٌ غَيْرُ النَّشْأَةِ الْجَسَدِيَّةِ, that for nafs there is no any resurrection. There is no any resurrection, no life after death. غير النشأة الجسدية, or there is no nash'a but only this nash'ati jasadi, bodily. He does not believe in ruh and ruhaniyah. He does not believe in ruhani life, immaterial life. وَأَنَّهُ لَيْسَ لَهُ كَمَالٌ آخَرٌ. And he said that whatever perfection is that is in this world, you have to make it. He does not believe in any other perfection in the hereafter. أَلَّيْسَ لَهُ كَمَالٌ آخر يجب عليها طلبه, that he is bound to seek there. فإن النفس إذا أضمر ذلك, because the nafs, when damir أضمر يضمر إضمارا, that's in the meaning of hiding. When the nafs have inside itself this type of concept, إذا أضمر ذلك لم يطمح بصره إلى الكمال أصلا. So for his own perfection, and perfection is through good deeds and good aqaid there in the hereafter, he will never look toward that perfection, never ever. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khairi khalqihi Muhammad wa alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Professor, no, not the time, because I told you that from Monday it will be 10 o'clock. It will be 10 o'clock.